What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to the channel. And while you guys are at it, go ahead and smash the like button. I really would appreciate that. Well, guys, I wanted to talk to you guys about how I would invest $100 for the first time. And I've gotten this question a lot. Hey, I want to start investing. I don't know where to start. I've only got, $100. And I think that for the most part, most people can come up with $100 to invest, but many people might not know how to invest $100. So I think $100 first investment, $100 investment for beginners is probably a good starting point for just about anyone. And especially with the IRS tax refund checks about to go out in the next few weeks, a lot of people have this free loan that they've already given to the federal government every year in the form of their overpayment of taxes, and this is why you get an IRS refund check. If you get an IRS refund check, you've overpaid your taxes. And so a lot of people take this IRS refund check money and they blow it on different depreciating assets. Some people actually do smart things with it, but I wanted to just kind of share this with you guys for those who actually want to build wealth and ultimately receive or achieve financial freedom sometime in the future. And you could build real wealth starting with a small amount of money. So don't sleep on the fact that it's only $100 initial investment. And investing, it can totally change your life for the better, but a lot of people just kind of mistakenly think that, unless they have thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, that, a couple dollars here and there, $100 investment here or there is probably not even worth it. And I'll be honest with you guys, that is so far from the truth. More importantly, it's the habit of investing, and you would be surprised with the help and the magic of compound returns, how much it can make your money grow. And this is exactly how the rich teach their kids. And I want to just kind of go over this with you guys because I think this is a really cool topic. So anyway, what's the best way to invest $100? So let's go over like 5 different ways to invest $100. And there's way more than 5, but in today's video, we're going to keep it simple. We're just going to talk about 5 ways. So the very first way is to start an emergency fund. And the reason why I want to talk about starting an emergency fund is this is how you protect yourself from unnecessarily going into debt. Now, debt, depending upon the debt, but for most people, debt is the single biggest reason why they're unable to build wealth. And so if you can stay out of debt, you are moving yourself that much closer to becoming financially free. Most people spend their entire lives digging themselves out of debt so that they can begin to achieve some degree of financial freedom. So if you can stay out of debt, great. You're miles and miles ahead of the competition. But if you're in debt, obviously I would be looking to get out of debt. So the very first thing is I would start an emergency fund. So, and it's understandable if your first thought was, thinking you're going to take $100 and start buying stocks, maybe cryptocurrencies, maybe REITs, low cost real estate investment trusts, maybe having you invest in an ETF or maybe even an index fund. But no, I would actually start off with creating an emergency fund. And I would actually create the emergency fund before I started paying off debt. So I would actually work to build that emergency fund up well beyond $100, but I would first fund that emergency fund with $100 and ultimately make my goal to build an emergency fund that was equal to at least 1 month of expenses before I started to make any type of investments. So that's exactly what I would do. So the next thing I would be looking at considering investing $100 in, let's talk about like option number 2, right? I would consider investing in paying off debt. Okay. So let's just say you have your emergency fund. What's the next thing you would do? Well, the next thing that I would do is I would invest in paying off debt. And the reason why I would invest in paying off debt is because if you look at credit card interest rates, if you look at really high car loan interest rates. Many of these, especially credit cards are going to be anywhere between 18 and maybe 30% or possibly more, depending upon what state you are and how what your credit rating is. I would be looking to pay off debt. And the reason being is investing in the stock market, generally speaking, let's just say it's the S&P 500. You're generally going to expect a 10% rate of return, right? And so let's just say the S&P 500 over the last, 15, 20, 30 years generated an average of 10% rate of return. If you're paying 18, 20, 25, 30% interest on Visa, MasterCard, credit cards, American Express credit cards, then you're losing money. Even if you generated 10% rate of return from the stock market year after year, if you're spending 30% in credit card interest, you're losing. You're losing. So there's no benefit to investing while carrying high interest credit card debt that's exceeding how much you're earning from your investments. So first one will be creating an emergency fund, and the next one would be paying off debt, high interest credit card debt, high interest debts. Now, if you have 0% interest debt, I'm probably not in a big hurry to pay that off. I'm just saying. But of course, you don't want to carry that low interest rate debt if that 0% interest rate is going to run out, and then you'll be stuck with some high interest rate going forward. All right. So the next thing, number 3, I would start to invest in maybe a stock market mutual fund, maybe an ETF. And the reason I say this is because I'm not a big fan of having a small amount of money to start off investing and buying a single stock. So, most people probably want to rush out there and buy Apple stock, Amazon stock, Tesla stock. A lot of these stocks are on sale right now. Great companies, and they're at discounted prices. And, you've got Microsoft stock, you've got Home Depot stock, you've got Redfin stock, Zillow stock. There's all these different stocks out there. And, there's not one stock that I would want to put all my eggs in one basket into. And with only $100, it's really hard to divide that $100 investment into multiple different stocks, unless you wanted to take your time and find, maybe 10, 15 of your favorite stocks and then make fractional share investments into each of them. But I think that's rather time consuming for only $100 investment. So what I would do personally is I would go out and I would probably look at, some Vanguard ETFs, total stock market ETFs. Vanguard has a very, very good track record. Probably one of my favorite ETFs to consider investing into. You've got the spiders. You've got the SPDR S&P 500 ETF Trust, ticker symbol SPY. And essentially, you'll own a tiny portion of all 500 companies that are in the S&P 500 stock market index. So, with that investment of $100, and, I should let you guys know I'm not a stock market investor, or I'm not a stock market advisor. Of course, I'm a stock market investor. Been investing since I was probably like 20 years old, but I'm not an advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. So, all of this should be considered as entertainment. And this is just me sharing my thoughts on the subject. Always seek the financial counsel of a financial advisor before making any investment decisions. But you can get instant diversification and investments with a long history of making money for anyone who could hold on to your stock market ETF investment for 10 years or longer. Now, of course, there's no guarantee that you will profit and that you will not lose money. All investments have the possibility of losing money. But I wouldn't let this stop me. And I didn't let it stop me. I don't let the fact that I could lose money stop me from trying to make money. So, everyone's always going to have some story. Well, I got a friend, I got a broke uncle who lost money in the stock market. I'm not trying to hear about those stories. I'm trying to figure out, how can I build wealth? How do I learn how to play the game and win the game? And, and that's the way it is. So, stocks are probably one of the most powerful wealth building tools that the average person could buy into. So I'm a big fan of buying stocks. It's fairly easy to get started, and it's something that you could actually get started quickly, even from a smartphone, to get started building wealth, compounding your money, and building your path toward achieving financial freedom. And now there are some differences between ETFs and mutual funds, including how you buy and sell shares, what kind of minimum investments apply, the kind of fees that you might expect to pay. But the general idea behind both the ETFs and the mutual funds is that you can invest in the whole stock market or in select parts of it through single investment. So I'm a big fan of ETFs. I'm a big fan of index funds, and they save me a lot of time because in a future video, I'm going to talk to you guys about how to invest in yourselves that could literally create returns that blow the stock market out of the water. So, I'm talking about side hustles, creating small businesses, online businesses, and you would be just completely blown away when I share with you guys some of the information I've learned over the years about how you can get started. In fact, many of these businesses could be started completely without any out-of-pocket initial investments, and I love those because what risk do you have except for your time? And I'll bet on myself any day of the week. So, all right, so I think we're up to number 4, right? So here's number 5. Put it in your 401k, right? Now, most people have a 9-to-5 job. They are a W-2 employee, and in most companies, they offer a 401k. And so if you have a 401k or, some other kind of employer-sponsored retirement investment plan, then funding it could literally be an excellent source or an excellent use of your investment dollars. And I know we're only talking about $100, but this is just getting it started and you grow from there. And this is especially true if you have not already maxed out your employer's matching contributions. You might be asking, well, what is the employer matching contribution? Well, this is a perk or a benefit, generally speaking, that a lot of employers will offer to their employees. And so basically, I've worked in a lot of different companies in the past where basically if you just put, for every dollar you put in, my employers in the past would match the dollar that I put in. So I'm literally doubling my money. For every $1 I put in, they would put in $1. So it's like free money. It's like, so if someone's going to give me $1 for every time I put $1 into an account, an investment account, I'm going to try to figure out how many dollars can I shovel into this thing because that's free money, right? You're doubling your money every time you do it. At least, for the employers that will match you dollar for dollar. Some employers might only do, 50 cents for every dollar, but it's so common nowadays that I would bet that, probably greater than 75-80% of employers are matching dollar for dollar up to a certain percentage of your income, of your salary. So let's just say you make $100,000 a year, for example, and your employer matches you up to 6% of your total salary. So that would mean 6% of $100,000 is $6,000. So if you put $6,000 into your 401k account, that would mean your employer would match you with another $6,000. So that would mean that if you put $6,000 throughout 2023 into your 401k, then by the end of the year, even if you didn't invest that money into the stock market, because you can actually put money into a 401k and kind of park it into maybe like a money market account where it's not even at risk if you're kind of scared. That's probably another topic for another day. But if you put $6,000 in and your employer matches you $6,000 as well, you've got $12,000 in your 401k investment brokerage account when you only put in $6,000 of your own money. So the way I see it is, if my employer is going to offer to match me dollar for dollar into a 401k, there is literally no way in the world I'm not going to take that free money up. So so anyway, I just wanted to share this information with you guys. I think that this is incredibly powerful, especially at this time of year. Most people set goals at this time of year, and I want to help more and more people achieve their goals, their financial goals. I've definitely got some bumps and bruises over the years, but the lessons that I've learned from those have literally made all of the pains that I've gone through 100% worth it. So on this channel, I'm going to be sharing more information on side hustles, creating multiple streams of income, income, investing in the stock market, investing in real estate, and making smart money moves with your personal finances. And so anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, drop a thumbs up for the video. Also consider subscribing, maybe share this video with a friend, and I'll see you on the next one. Y'all be safe.